Hello and welcome, my friends, to a very interesting video today. This video is going to be on the validity of 22s for other things than just plinking. How's that for a title? As always, there are no sponsors right now. There is no one out there that would want to support me financially and is an actual company anymore. After all of my videos, they're like, nah, we're good. If you want to help me out, give me the subscribe, comment down below, share the video around. Let's help defeat these algorithms that are constantly holding down gun channels. And also, I do have a B channel. So if you want to see some adventure content, really cool other hobbies that aren't just gun related, check that out. It's called FF Lifestyle. I have just over 300 subs. I really want to try to get to 1,000 before this year is out. Click that card up in the corner of your screen now, and I would really appreciate it. This video is probably going to anger a lot of people, but I think it is valid, and you'll have to excuse me if I have done a video of this similarly on the channel before. I don't remember it. So I might have very well done something similar at some point. You'll have to get my most modern and up-to-date opinion of this now. 22s, how viable are they? This came up in my mind because I had this pistol right here, my Mark IV Tactical, that I've done many videos on. It's actually one of my go-to night vision pistols because it's so quiet, so fun, and the Vortex Viper actually works great under night vision with the Streamlight VIR2. Those two pieces mixed with the Oculus, what I would consider the best 22 suppressor out there on the market today, make this a very fun plinker. It's a fun pistol to have, especially under night vision. But I had this for the longest time loaded in one of the safes that I have stashed around for the possible rabid animal walking through the backyard. Now, where I'm at, we have a pretty large woods behind us where there is frequently raccoons floating all over the place. So I had this as kind of like, you know, my go-to. If something rabid were walking around, I would snag this sucker and not have to worry as much about over-penetration or extreme noise and just have a go-to little predator gun for around the house. And ironically, the exact mag that I had loaded up in this thing had a ton of issues, a ton of click, no bangs, and all 7 mags I had loaded up today with my go-to Winchester Super X, and that was historically what ran the best in this pistol, all had weird failures to fire. And they were all good primer strikes on that ammunition, solid primer strikes, just a click, no bang. So it was probably a bad lot of ammo. I'm not really faulting the pistol all that much, but I thought it was a great time to showcase why I think 22s, semi-automatic 22s, are just not super viable for any sort of real-world use. I know that's going to piss some people off, but the reality of my experience in the thousands upon thousands of rounds of 22 that I have downrange is that no matter what, you just always have some weird finicky issues with them. And everyone gets it. Like, it's a 22. You know it's not going to be 100% reliable. But I'm sitting there thinking, man, if there really was a rabid raccoon running up during the day ready to give me some rabies, I would have racked this action and got a click, no bang right out the gate, like second round, and this thing would probably have been gnawing on my leg. And it just really served as a hefty reminder to maybe not bet your life, or at the very least an expensive rabies shot, on something like a 22 rimfire. And of course, everyone kind of knows that these days when it comes to actually keeping a 22 for, let's say, home defense, or keeping a 22 for even like predator defense, or geez, carrying it in a CCW role. I just don't think they're super viable solely for the reliability. But in this case, man, even keeping it around the house for a little bit of like minor predator protection, I just think that the reality of how massively produced your lot numbers of ammunition are, mixed with all the interesting little issues of 22s just in general, you have some inherent reliability issues that are there. Now I'm going to clean this thing up. I'm going to make sure that the firing pin is looking good, and I'm going to get a different box of ammo, and there's a probably pretty good chance that it's going to run 100% for maybe a couple hundred more rounds. I just thought it was very ironic that in a video where I'm talking about the validity of a 22 for anything other than plinking, it has a ton of issues. And I said a few times in this video that to my buddies at the range that this perfectly explains exactly what I was talking about in this video. I also brought my Ruger LCRX in 22 long rifle. And of course this thing with my glorious Speed Bees autoloader. This thing is incredible. I love this Speed Bees autoloader. It's just one of the best accessories I've ever got for a pistol. It makes it so much fun to shoot this thing. Had absolutely zero issues. And of course that ammunition was sitting there for probably almost 2 years, untouched, unshot, and I could have had this thing loaded, untouched, unshot. This is not a video talking about semi-automatics versus revolvers and how revolvers never malfunction, because believe me, revolvers malfunction, and the downfall is when a revolver malfunctions, that sucker is out. You are going to need tools to make that thing go back in action 90% of the time. Semi-automatic, you can usually do some work quickly, immediate action, and it's going to be good to go. But I think when we're talking about 22s, revolvers take a very interesting point. Yes, reloads are difficult with a revolver, but could almost guarantee you that even if you got a bad primer, the next round is probably going to be fine and you're not going to have any of the strange cycling issues. Man, I don't want to say this, but that heritage thing being suppressed, whatever the hell that thing is it's not interesting, but it's kind of interesting comparing my Mark IV here that's unbelievably expensive to that, and would that have the same amount of weird random reliability issues that a semi-automatic has? Maybe, maybe not, and no, I'm not saying that that single action is going to be comparable. It would be super cool to think about something as reliable as this LCRX is in a 22 long rifle that was also somehow Nagant style threaded and able to be run suppressed. I think you would have kind of a like go-to little round the house predator gun, cool random night vision thing, that mixing both of these worlds, that's kind of the whole point of this video, would make a very interesting 22 revolver. And without a doubt, there will be hundreds of people in the comments section saying, oh, I've had 10,000 rounds through mine and I've never had a hiccup. You're insane. That has not been my experience. And modernizing a revolver or a lever action or a bolt action to be more reliable with a 22 and also more capable when it comes to accessories for specific roles. I'm trying to see like a TR8 type of revolver from Smith & Wesson, but somehow threaded and 22. I think it would be cool. I think it would be very interesting. I think it would be totally different, and I think it would increase how valid a 22 is for actual defensive uses. And again, I had a blast with this revolver at the range, no issues, and I just love it. Like if I'm trying to burn through weird, crappy, garbage 22 ammo, I bring this thing out because I know it's just gonna work. Like there's no question. It's just almost always going to work, or I'm gonna get a click, no bang, and I'm gonna go to the next round in the chamber, and it's going to work on that round. So with 22s, I actually do generally prefer revolvers if I want a range day that is just simply void of most issues. I love 22 plinkers, but whenever I bring them out, they always end up just kind of reminding me like, yeah, it's cool. It's kind of more of a plinker to me. Like really hard to view this as legitimate real world use in any way, shape, or form. That has been my experience. Let me know what you guys think. Am I speaking out of my ass here? Does any of it make sense? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to see if anyone else shares my opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching. Head up to that description for the ways to support the channel, and stay tuned for more great content coming soon.